This is a view of the light, a fire burning through the night. We rise, we shine, we take the fight. A view of the
Hello and welcome to another adventure on Spirit Sessions, A View of the Light. Welcome. Come on in and share it out and like and subscribe on our YouTube, and then we can share out more. Today we have a really beautiful episode about just how far and what the mind can do. It's going to be so exciting, and we have somebody today with real life experience, and you guys are going to love our guest as much as we do. But first, let me introduce you to Rhonda Elliott, who at the end of the episode will be pulling a card for us. But right now, Rhonda, share with us what you've learned about Elizabeth. Introduce her. Oh, Rhonda, you're muted.
There, because I was getting feedback and I knew I was causing it. So I'm so glad that Elizabeth could overcome all technical problems today and joined us. And she powered through it because it wasn't easy, but we know you can do it. Elizabeth Joyce is a spiritual teacher, an intuitive, and a guide whose work bridges the seen and unseen worlds. I'm reading from the back of one of her newer books, just because it's well written. For more than 40 years, she has dedicated her life to helping seekers understand the soul's eternal nature and the mysteries that lie beyond the physical world. Elizabeth believes that death is not the end, but a doorway, that love is the highest law, and that heaven is not only beyond us, but within us. Through her writings, teachings, workshops, she invites others to awaken to their own eternal flame and to live as a radiant expressions of the spirit on the earth. And I'm just reading her new book, and I just wanted to read you this because I'm sure I'm going to ask Elizabeth, did you channel this whole book?
Yes.
I knew that.
It was amazing. I'll tell you the story when you're finished.
Yes. I'm going to read a little excerpt that I was just working, The Call to Experience. And I thought it was very apt for today when we're talking about things that go right and wrong. The soul, radiant and whole, does not enter matter by accident. It is drawn by a call, a longing to experience, to expand. Spirit hungers to know itself, not only in the light, but also in the shadow, in laughter and in loss, in the thousand textures that mortal life provides. I thought that was so beautiful. I just thought that was so beautiful.
Thank you. Well, what happened was my cousin died over Labor Day weekend, and he was 100 years old. And that in itself was amazing. But after that, can I let her out? Are we
Sure.
going to be able to edit?
Yeah, no worries.
Oh,
this always happens on Spirit Sessions. The dogs get bad. I don't know. Your cat's been pretty good, though, lately, Teresa, hasn't it? I locked my dog in the cage because she'd be in here because she loves the energy, and dogs get really hyper with the energy.
We have to be pet friendly here because they're just
friendly babies, whatever.
Yeah, kid friendly. It's why not just be
okay
friendly?
So we'll take it back to my cousin died. Okay.
Yes, your 100-year-old cousin, which is pretty cool in itself.
Okay, I should say my cousin passed away over Labor Day weekend, and then right after that we had the full moon in Pisces. Well, this year, 2026, every single astral event hits my chart. I'm a 25 degrees Pisces sun, and the full moon in September hit it at 25 degrees.
Oh.
So what happened within 3 days is my crown opened up, and this, I'm going to say, waterfall of light went through. It was going like a circle of light up there up to the 10th chakra and then back down again. And I was like this, and I had to write. And I wrote Mysteries Revealed starting Labor Day weekend, and I finished it just before Halloween. I
Holy
didn't
cow.
do anything else except write, eat, and sleep.
It's amazing. It's
It's a
amazing.
beautiful book. I
It
don't know
is.
where it came from. I'm happy to say I probably didn't write it because it came from another planet.
Or another aspect of yourself, you think?
Well, when you say that, Rhonda, you have to know that when people think that, they think of the physical body. It wasn't physical at all.
No.
So it came from another space.
Yeah.
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 Another part.
But I've had lots of that.
Do you think that we're here on Earth experiencing, like what we said, the soul, because and part of us is still up in or in another dimension, sort of
Yes, we
still
are.
connected?
We are. And it's awfully hard for us to comprehend it or understand it. But we are here to learn. We're here to learn, to experience, to love, and get closer to God. We're also here to understand why other people can't maybe expand the way we can and why we can't expand the way they can. So we're here for compassion and identity, and the only thing you take with you when you die is your character. And your character is a culmination of all your decisions during your lifetime. It's so interesting.
That's, yeah, you certainly don't take your American Express with you.
You don't need it.
I know. And well, and people, they gather and gather things and things and things, and they like, you can't take that with you. So, this
Well,
is what
that's
you take with
all
you.
done out of fear.
Yeah.
I don't have enough. I am not enough. But
Oh,
I
yeah.
worked with Louise Hay for 5 years,
Wow.
and
Neat.
she taught me that we had enough.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I worked with her when she was first starting. She modeled in New York, and so
Right.
did I. And
Wow.
she had a meditation group. There were 10 of us, do you believe it? And she wrote a little blue book called Heal Your Life and passed it around to us. Of course, eventually it got published in 10 different languages, and it's all over the world. But that took time.
I can see you being a model, actually, Elizabeth. You have a wonderful bone structure. And
For a
yeah,
long time.
so that's an amazing story. And so you have been doing this for 40 years. So
I've been doing this since the day I took my first breath,
serious. Good.
and my chart shows it.
When did you know, though? When did you know that you had a different
About
color?
3 years old. My grandmother was down to New Jersey. My mother grew up in New Hampshire, where I am. I'm in my family house. My grandfather built this house. My mother was born in this house.
Wow.
But we lived in New Jersey. My father worked in New York for Exxon, and I'm one of 2 sets of identical twins. So my grandmother was down visiting, and one morning when she was coming down the stairs, I was at the bottom of the stairs crying. And she said, "Why are you crying?" And I said, "I don't want you to break your leg." And I took my little hands and I put them around her leg, and I went like that.
Oh.
Well, 2 days later, she fell down the stairs, but she only sprained her ankle. And when my father was taping it up for her, she said to him, well, they called me Betty Ann. Betty Ann saved me. She healed me before it happened.
Oh, that
So
gives me the
that's
goosebumps, man.
Yeah, really.
I got the
taught
spirit
me
bumps, man, from
one
that.
of the main things you have to know in healing is the energy happens before the action. The astrology happens before the action. That's why when we're having these eclipses now, and I said we were going to have major war, it happened 2 weeks later. But the
Right.
astrology said that.
Yeah.
Right.
It also says very good things, but I just find it amazing every single time.
That is amazing. That is amazing. And you tell us the story about your stroke, because you had a stroke 2 years ago that you healed amazingly from it. And
Well, I was in Florida visiting one of my closest friends, and we went out to lunch, and it was right after New Year's, and we wanted to have lobster. So we went over to Deerfield Beach, and I had the most beautiful lobster salad that I didn't get to eat. And my face fell. That's what
oh,
happens. Your face falls. And so she called 911 and I went to the hospital. I was in intensive care for 5 days, but I didn't feel sick. It was energy. And it was Uranus because my Uranus is in Taurus and everything, Uranus is in Taurus. And I knew that's what it was, some kind of an energy. But it gave me great lessons, even though it took me over 3 years to heal.
Yeah.
But I was lucky because I was here. I mean, I was living here even though I was visiting Florida. I had
right.
left a 20-year marriage. I walked out, I got up one day, got the moving truck, and left. It was the best thing I ever did.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, right on then. You got
Yeah.
courage.
When you live without fear, when you really trust in the universe, and when you can say, my life is your life, Lord, I will follow whatever, however you direct me. You can do it without fear. I had joy. I didn't feel sad at all. I
Okay.
left. I was well taken care of by spirit. There's amazing stories. And I got the gift of this house for doing it.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
But you
And
don't know it at the time.
no, that's where the faith comes in, right? You don't know the hows.
Trust.
You know this and you know that, and there's faith and trust, and you just know it will be done.
If I can write a book the way I wrote it, it's got to get out to the people.
Right.
And that's my goal. And the other goal I have is to get everybody to understand and know and learn the new spiritual chakras.
Yeah. I
That's
was
your new
curious about
healing.
that.
Yeah, we have a new heart center. Let me tell you about the heart center.
Okay.
We have our fourth chakra is now yellow. That's it. That's it. Our fourth chakra is now yellow, and our solar plexus is green. They didn't really switch. It was always that way, but people went by the colors of the rainbow. So
Right.
then we have the eighth chakra up here. Behind our head, we have the 8.5 chakra, and that's where the Arcturian angels are to make sure we don't get too much energy put into our physical body. Behind the head, between where the brain meets the spine, exactly between the two occipital lobes, is the ninth chakra. And the ninth chakra is probably the most important one. It's right here. The ninth chakra opens up your Akashic records,
Oh, yeah.
your book of life, and the higher realms. And it makes you able to, nobody has ever reached it yet. I don't care what people say or what people think. We are not there, but we are getting there. So then we go up, watch this, you're going to love it. From the ninth chakra, there's a ray that goes through the brain out to the third eye, and it pierces the pituitary and pineal glands, and it brings the energy out to the third eye and out and out and out. This is going to be your new healing. It's not going to be your palm. It's going to be your third eye.
Okay.
Then the eighth chakra goes up to the 10th chakra, and the 10th chakra is amber, and the heart center is yellow. So what you do is you take a line of, you know, an invisible wire or whatever you want to call it. You put it through your heart. You go up your back up to the 10th chakra. You come through the 10th chakra and down the front and back to your heart. And when you do that mind exercise, you'll feel a whole shift in your body, and you'll feel the energy. As long as you're open to the 8th chakra, you have to really meditate to get there. And this is called the circle of light.
Circle of light. Yeah.
Circle
Okay.
of light. And it's now the most powerful healing that we have on the planet.
That's great.
And then the 11th and 12th chakra are above that, and they are the higher realms. So there's wonderful things coming for
You
the
understand.
people that can manage to get there.
So is this healing Arcturian? Because you're talking
Well,
about.
partially, it came from there, but that doesn't mean it is that.
Okay.
They are who delivered it to me.
Oh.
You know, we have other planets, we have other universes that we haven't discovered yet. And the Three-Eye Atlas was very exciting to me. I told you I wrote another book after I finished this one, and it's my first novel. It's a mystery, and it's a technical mystery about the Three-Eye Atlas hitting the Earth and what happens. It's so interesting. It's called Caught at the Edge.
Yeah, it was on our intro. If
I
you see
had
it,
an awful lot of help with that. I had intellectual help. I had people that are at the telescope stations around the world help me. And I
Wow.
also had any information I wanted to ask, I could ask.
sweet.
You know, when you're centered, when you're open, and you ask a question, you will always get the answer. Always.
Oh.
We always say, you know, ask something on the new moon and watch it be fulfilled by the full moon, because that energy of growing. And then the full moon represents saying goodbye, losses, or decisions to leave and make a change. So the new moon is new beginnings, and the full moon is change. Change to align yourself so you can have the new beginnings. And
Great.
it's wonderful.
That's really cool. I just love
Yeah,
that idea.
especially when you live your life this way.
I
And
saw
I've
rec-
always lived my life this way.
So you've always lived your life that way. So you're a psychic, but you're connected all the time.
I'm universally aligned,
Okay.
Oh, neat.
and I'm a psychic and an astrologer.
Okay.
But now I'm really an author. I've written 12 books.
Yeah.
And if you people that are listening want to know the books to get, there's 3 of them. One is my Ascension Workbook that I wrote 2010 and 2011. The second would be Mysteries Revealed, because to me, that's my soul story. My life story was Unlimited Realities, but my soul story is Mysteries Revealed. And then I'd love you to get the novel, Caught at the Edge.
Caught at the Edge. I'll have to get that because have you got any of them into audiobooks? Because I love listening
No,
to
I
audio.
have not been able to do that. Well, I just created these 2. One came out in October, the other came out in January. I'm already on my next one.
Ooh,
Oh.
I love it.
Oh, what's
The
that one
next-
about?
Soulmates.
Is that a novel or is that a?
It's going to be a novel, and it's about people. And people always meet their soulmate, but they don't recognize it. There's so many kinds of soulmates. So I'm writing about a woman, her name is Margaret, and she lost her husband in the Gulf War, and she's mourning, and she's trying to start her life again. And the people that she meets are going to meet soulmates too. So it's really quite a book. It's going to take a while.
So do you
It's-
half channel that one? Because some of the stories.
I do that with everything I do. The title of the book is Just Beyond My Reach,
Well,
because love is always just beyond our reach, isn't it?
seems that way. Seems
Yeah.
that way.
It does.
Seems that way.
So,
Oh, that's incredible. And you give me great. So with your birthday coming up and you're a Pisces, do you have any? We just did a show. We last week we were celebrating all the Pisces and giving them cards and just celebrating their birthday. Do you have any special things you think for Pisces this year is a year of for Pisces?
water. We're going to see a lot of water. We've had so much snow up here. We've
Oh,
had 12,
that's
12
true.
to, 12 to 15 inches. I told God we don't have room for any more. Now it's going to begin to melt.
I know.
But Pisces and water. I'm a double Pisces. My sun is in Pisces and my moon is in Pisces. And they're conjunct. And they're opposite my Neptune in Virgo. And all of them. In fact, my Mercury was even hit this year in Aquarius at 28 degrees. That's an anorectic degree. So I don't know what's coming.
You
for me.
astrologers just you kill me because you know so much math and you do it and it's such a science and it's just
It is. It's a
very
wonderful. It's
intricate.
your. By the way, it's your birth certificate. It's your passport. It's your spiritual universal passport, your astrology chart, and it never changes. It shows your character at birth, and of course, your quest is to improve that before you let go of the body and ascend.
So you don't have to do the lessons again. Because who wants to go back to summer school? Like really, right?
You
No one.
graduate to another vibration, which
Yeah.
is what we're being offered on the planet for the first time ever. Do you know we just had the Saturn-Uranus conjunction? You heard about that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The new beginning. It was February 20th, and they conjuncted at 0 degrees Aries, Saturn and Neptune. The boss, the discipline, and the I can go anywhere and do anything dreamboat. They came together. That means that you can make your dreams come true if you work hard. That's the message. But let me tell you something. It's never happened in astrology before. The only time that we think Saturn and Neptune came together at 0 degrees Aries was in the beginning.
Oh.
The first three words of the Bible, in the beginning. So what are we beginning? We are beginning a new world, but before we do that, we have to let go of the old one, which is becoming problematic.
Yeah.
People are hanging on with their teeth and their fingernails, right? They're just
You
hanging
can't.
on to all that stuff
You
that we
just
don't
have
use
to let
anymore.
go. Everybody is afraid of change. You know what I got so discouraged with? I think it was France at the telescope towers. You know, we have them in every country. They wanted to shoot down the three-eye atlas. Why?
Oh.
Why? They thought they were getting messages, but none of them were dangerous. None of them were threatening, but that's how we think. When am I going to be hurt next? That's living in fear. What's going to go wrong now?
Now I saw
Mercury-
I saw something about the third eye atlas that it surprised us again. It kind of got really, really bright again, and then really, really bright. And what do you think? It's not just a comet. It's not just a rock.
It's not
is
a
it?
comet at all.
No.
It's the ship, and it came from, I think it's called, I have it in the book of what section of the universe it came from. It came from way on the other side at the outer edge.
Pretty far.
And it's here to bring energy. It's here to bring energy. It went around the back of the sun, where it fueled the sun. It gave the sun energy. Now the sun is spitting out something called rays. And you know, they affect every planet in the universe, not just Earth.
Right.
And that's bringing the higher level and the new Earth, the new thinking. I explain it very well in the book, Caught at the Edge.
Okay, I'm going to have to get that one this weekend too. I always just love audiobooks, so that's why I'm saying I'm always saying, do you have it on audiobook?
Well, audio books are good if you can get them, but you have to be able to distribute them and have a call for them. And when the book gets more popular, I'll probably create one. In fact, I have a girl down the street that makes audiobooks, and she has her own studio.
Neat.
But what I want to
I
do
mean-
is wait to see how it.
It's time.
It sounds a little bit too synchronistic not to.
And the other thing I never do is buy a Kindle book. You can't. You have to buy the book. It's not
yeah.
on Kindle at all.
I love this book.
Um,
I like my
haven't-
paper books. Yes.
I have an artist that does that. I love that picture, don't you?
Yes, I do. I love
And
all
the
the
one
colors.
on the cover of Caught, I got from Nassau, and it really is the three-eye atlas coming towards Earth. So that's the cover I have for the other one. I was real happy to get that.
Well, that's cute. Creative.
You must get the dark night skies up there where you can really see the stars in New Hampshire, right?
Oh, that moon was incredible. It was
That's-
just incredible.
That's the one good thing about snow, right, Elizabeth? It
Oh,
makes
yeah.
everything bright when the moon's bright, right?
Yeah, it's cold. I went out in newly fallen slush.
Yeah, our
Well, I'm
snow
at
is
the-
falling like rain this weekend, so that's kind
I'm
of
at
good.
the bottom of a mountain,
Oh,
and so it goes over me. So Concord and Manchester got the high snow, and we got the little snow, half of what they got. See,
Yeah.
there's always good in nature.
that's right. Bex and I used to, she was from our former co-host. She
Because of
was
that
from
mountain.
New Hampshire, and she and I would complain about the snow and the cold weather. Teresa lives in Tennessee, so it's 80 degrees there today. So
Oh, that's nice.
yeah.
We're gonna have 70 on Wednesday. I guess we'll have a hot summer, maybe, huh?
Yeah, well, we needed the water because we were parched all summer. So hopefully,
And where do you live, Rhonda?
I live north of New York. I live in Ontario, and I'm just north
Oh.
of Kingston, in between Ottawa and Kingston.
I've been to Ottawa.
Yeah, I live
I
just
had
south
a
of Ottawa.
teacher up there. And I've been to Toronto.
Oh, really?
I did a lot of psychic fairs at Toronto.
Yeah,
The international psychic group, they used to come. I was always there.
and so you had a teacher up in Ottawa, you said, or someone up in Ottawa?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Mark Tremblay.
Mark Tremblay.
I've heard that.
Heard the name. Is
He
that
was very
as with some Dr. Wolf? Was she talking about Mark Tremblay?
Maybe. It sounds so familiar.
Well, he did work all over the world. In fact, he's the one that went to Egypt with me. He
Oh,
passed away last summer.
Oh, okay.
But he was incredible, absolutely incredible.
So why were you called to Egypt? Like what drew you there? Besides it's so cool.
Okay, the Edgar Casey Foundation hired Dr. Shore, who was a well-known researcher and history person, and loved the Edgar Casey Foundation. We all went over with a wonderful top geologist from Texas to find out what was under the Sphinx and to see if there were any more pyramids we could discover. Well, we found 3 new sarcophagus, where they laid the bodies.
Sarcophagus. Yeah, that word. Yeah.
By the Queen's Chamber, and we did find that, and I drew pictures of what was under the Sphinx, but they were never released because we had political interference, and Dr. Shore passed away.
Oh.
but it was very exciting. I was there for 3 weeks. And
Wow.
it was intense.
What did it feel like in that energy? It had to be so amazing.
Well, I had to adjust to it. You know,
Okay.
you just can't go into energy. So Mark and I meditated for 3 days in our hotel, and we could see the big pyramid out the window. So
Wow.
we'd go on the patio and we'd meditate and we'd ask for energetic acceptance. Let me tell you what happened. We went up, we had to go get tickets just like everybody else. And we went up to the entrance, and the 2 people that were at the entrance, the guards, bowed at our feet, called us holy, and emptied out the chambers, got all the people out. And they asked us what we wanted to do. And I had just read the book Initiation by Elizabeth H.
Yeah.
So I told him I wanted to do the initiation, the original initiation. We had to crawl on our stomach
Ooh.
25 feet down into the lower chamber under the pyramid.
You're
Wow.
braver
And then
than
we
I
had
would
to
ever
go.
be.
Oh my gosh, that's where I don't know if you know how they initiated them, but there's a narrow ledge around a circle, and there's doors over here, and the initiates would crawl on their stomach down into the pit. But in the pit were all alligators and snakes and everything, and it was dark. There was no light, and if they fell in, they would die. But if they got over to the doors opened automatically, and they went up to the Queen's chamber. And that's how they would pass the initiation. These were very devoted monks that did this. And in the Queen's chamber, it is said that if you do a meditation and ask Spirit for something, you'll get it. The only thing that Mark and I wanted to do at that time was find the cure for AIDS, and that's what we asked for. Within 6 months, they had the first shot, the first whatever cure in the beginning. Because I had worked with AIDS and Louise Hay for 5 years. So that's what we did. And then we went up to the King's Chamber, and we got to lie down in the esophagus there. Many people have been in there. And in the King's Chamber, there's 4 places on the planet. We don't know where number 4 is. I think it's Antarctica. But on June 20th every year, the light comes in 2 holes at the top of the pyramid, and that's for airflow. But they were there years ago, eons ago. In comes Orion and the one that begins Sirius, and they come together to the esophagus where I was laying down and come to a point. And if you can be under that point, you get transformed. I know Greg Braden was able to do that, but we were there in April. We weren't there in June. And there's another place that does it on March, and that's in Machu Picchu.
Oh,
And they have rocks that are very much like the ones in Stonehenge. They have rocks, and the light comes in on the 21st of March. So you could be standing up, and it comes into your heart.
Wow.
Very powerful.
Wow. How exciting.
Isn't that fascinating?
it is. It is. It's just, you transformed us right there. Yeah, beautiful.
So that's what we did in Egypt.
That's awesome. What about the pyramids in Bosnia? Do you know anything about them? Have you ever?
No, I don't know, but I know how the pyramids were built. They were built with energy. And people didn't understand that the people who were strong enough to lift them, like an elevator, you push a button and it goes up. That's all going to be coming back to us over the next 50 years. And the chakras will open up over the next 50 years. But it's not going to be right away. We got to get over this instantaneous stuff. We have to work for our spirituality, and we have to let the body change in its own time and in its own way. And we have to get rid of that anger, all those But that's gone. That's supposed to be gone as of the Saturn Neptune conjunction.
Which is what day is the Saturn?
It was February 20th,
Oh, it was gone. Okay.
the
So
Great Reset. But
great
it
reason.
takes time for all of that to happen.
Right. Right.
I really would like to teach more of this. I would like to teach everybody the new spiritual chakras. As a matter of fact, do you know Damon Brinkley?
I don't.
Life After Life. He wrote one of the first books in the late 1900s about the near-death experience when he was electrocuted and came back. And we were on a tour with him, a cruise in the Pacific Ocean. And I had just finished the book about the new spiritual chakras. It was March of 2011. And I recited the incarnation that I wrote. And I got a standing ovation. It was so powerful. So I have that recorded on YouTube.
Ooh, neat.
And Richard Schulman, one of the best high frequency musicians on the planet,
Wow.
did the accompaniment for me to do the work to recite. I also have out, that's been one of the top interests of the people, something called the chakras and your body, and that also is on YouTube.
Okay. On
And
your YouTube. Your
and you
YouTube, it's
start-
just on Elizabeth Joyce, right? Your YouTube
Yeah.
channel.
And you start with the root chakra and you work the 7 chakras. That was an amazing time. You talk about channeling. The first part of it is the introduction slide where you explain the chakras. And I wrote all that out. But then we went to the studio the next day. And Bob had it all set so I could put my papers and just, walk around and read it all. But I didn't have any. He said, "What are you going to do?" I said, "I'm going to talk." He said, "You only have 28 minutes. I said, "That's okay." And I looked at Richard. I had some tips in the night about what key he should play in.
Oh, neat.
So I'm behind a glass with a microphone, and they're on the other side. And I looked at Richard and I said, 1, 2, 3. I took a deep breath and I recited the whole thing.
Wow.
You should hear it. It's the best work I've ever done before Mysteries Revealed. It's
Wow.
I did it in 1993, back when I had my voice. The only thing that I was affected with by the stroke was my voice and my throat, because it was very Uranus, very Taurus. But I'm working on it.
Yeah. You got to sing more. You
That's
have to sing.
true.
That's
I took 8 years of singing lessons.
Wow.
Yeah. Now you're hung up and I don't sound right, but you just got to sing no matter whether, it says make a joyful noise. It doesn't say you have to be in key and on tune.
Oh, Rhonda, I love that.
That's what I always say to my husband. It's okay, honey. We know you can't sing. Just it says make a joyful noise, and we're in
Go
church.
get in the shower, right?
Yeah.
No, he usually sings in church, but it really doesn't
Well,
matter.
I used to be called the Name That Tune Girl because I could
really?
say the name of the song on 3 notes and I knew every word to every song.
Oh,
But
that's
I started on something called American Bandstand. with
yeah.
Dick
I
Clark.
remember that. Dick Clark. Yeah.
I'm one of 2 sets of identical twins, and my older sisters worked on Arthur Godfrey's Talent Scouts back in the
Oh, yeah.
50s. And
Right.
they won that, and they did a lot of other things. The Sid Caesar Show and Edwin, and my sister and I did American Bandstand.
Wow.
And I was looking at the records and I met everybody. It was wonderful.
Oh,
I met
neat.
Bobby Darin and
Yeah.
Paul Anka.
And Fabian?
We didn't Fabian?
Yeah.
Yeah. You had to. He let me in backstage when we were at the Saturday
Of course he
70.
would. You would have been a beautiful young girl. Of course he
Yeah,
would.
well, he was a nice guy. He really was. Some of them weren't so nice, but you know who I love? Chuck Berry. Oh my God.
Oh, how neat.
What an electricity.
Yeah.
What? But there was love in that. There was love with Chuck Berry. And Paul Anka, of course, dear Paul.
bet.
He's still here.
Canadian.
He wrote My Way, yeah,
Yeah.
for Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
He
been
looks
good.
great too. Have you seen him?
Of
He looks
course.
amazing.
Well, I used to work in aviation. Isn't that funny? That was my career, aviation, up in the sky. And he used to come into the airport because I worked with private jets. So I got to know him. Very good person.
How neat.
Very nice. You've just pretty much done it all, haven't you? Do you think it's because of your intuition that you've had all these opportunities that you have
Well,
less
if you
fear,
look at
so
my-
you always say yes instead of saying no?
Well, I think it's more than that. I think it's which path do you want to go on, this one or that one? Because Bobby Darin asked me to go to LA, not LA, Vegas with him and
Vegas,
George Burns. He wanted me to sing, but my parents wouldn't let me.
Oh,
So I did the corporate thing. I got married and had kids. But I didn't know enough about, I had a twin. I didn't know how to be me.
oh,
In fact, I wasn't even called by Elizabeth until I was 21. I had went out into the world and I worked in accounting and that type of thing, and I had everybody call me Elizabeth. And then I felt like I was me.
yeah.
So my challenge, part of my challenge, had been to own me, to own my soul, to own my personhood, to be authentic and not be what everybody else tells you what to be and how to be it.
Must be extra hard being a twin too, because you're always sort of like a
How
reflection.
about the second set?
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about that is that my older sisters were 2 minutes apart and they were very close. My sister and I were 20 minutes apart and we were exact opposites.
Oh, wow.
Exact opposites.
Did you look the same, or were you
We
like,
did look alike, yeah. We did, especially if we had ever known the other one. We used to play games and change classes on April Fool's Day and all that stuff.
How fun.
But it
That is
wasn't
funny.
too much fun because I got blamed for what she did, and it was really hard. Very
Oh,
difficult.
You were the good one, were you? And didn't get in trouble?
I was the spiritual one, and she was a smoker and drinker and all that.
Oh,
So
okay.
we were very different. I don't know about good and bad. We all have to experience what we have to experience.
Yeah.
So
That's what your book's about, really, isn't it? It talks about coming down for the lessons,
choices.
choices
In
and
fact,
lessons. Yeah.
she passed away in 2013, and she was
oh,
in down in Baltimore, St. John's Hospital, and I went to see her, and I went to see her to tell her that I wasn't going to be her twin next time, and that we were of different vibrations,
right.
and she had to go her way. So it's in the middle of the night, and I woke up, and I'm praying over her because I was really worried that she wasn't going to go to heaven. And I took my pinky and I put it in hers, and we flew out of our bodies together. And we
Wow.
were in a whole other realm for a few hours, and there was so much love there.
Wow.
It was incredible, just an incredible experience.
Oh, I bet it was. I bet that was just beyond.
And so many people want to know how to do all these things.
Yeah.
And I don't have the answer. I don't know. It happens to me. It's always happened to me. I cannot imagine, even think about living without knowing God. I can't imagine it. I can't imagine how people can say there's no God or I don't believe, and you try to help them. And you can only do what you can do because everybody has to help themselves. It's a very, very personal journey, and I
Yeah.
respect that.
And maybe that's part of the lessons that they came to learn was, and some people, like we always say, some people they just open the doors, other people need the 2x4.
That was me. Yeah.
Do you think that you could open the book, Mysteries Revealed, and just read the title of the chapters so our viewers can
Ooh.
see what we've written about?
Absolutely. I'm going to get to the chapter part. Okay. So, part 1, The Awakening of the Soul. Chapter 1, The World's New Consciousness is Born. Chapter 2, The Soul's Eternal Flame. Chapter 3 is The Imprint of Your Enemies, which I found really interesting.
That is very interesting.
And I would even say, not even some, the enemies part kind of got to me, but I think it's anybody that we are in conflict with.
You have to use a word that the public will recognize.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't. And besides, I added that more at the end, and it came in as a very strong, you must put this in.
And you know, it's so diverse right now in the world that I think people have split some people into friends or foes, right? So yeah, and we're just all the same.
It's all judgment. We don't recognize it.
Yeah. And then crossing into form is number 4. The veil of forgetting.
Yeah.
That's the sacred amnesia hides eternity, so the faith and rediscovery may unfold. And the sacred contracts and soul bonds. And number 7 is the human journey. Earth as a school of learning where struggle, joy, and awakening refine the soul's vibration. Through lifetimes, the soul refines its light, gathering wisdom from every step. And then part 2 is the passage through the veil of death, the threshold of death, the heavenly portals beyond the earth, the mirror of the soul. This is where the life review comes in. The welcoming ones, angels, guides, and loved ones who greet and guide the soul across the veil. The halls of healing. And then part 3 is realms beyond the veil. The garden of radiance. Oh, that sounds good. And you have quite a few. The ascension in, this is what I love about this book. It's all into little
chapters, and there's a meditation at the end of every chapter.
Yeah, and it's great. Yeah.
For that subject.
Oh,
yeah.
neat.
So it's like a course almost, I would say. It's like a really cool spiritual course. The ascension into the spiritual chakras, the libraries of memory, the halls of harmony, the councils of light, and then part 4 is the eternal path, the bridges of stars, the temples of sound and color, the insight. Pardon me?
That's the one that Richard Shillman helped me with.
The temples of sound and color, the insights of Edgar Casey, the great choice, remembering our humanity in an age of simulation.
Ooh, neat. Right on.
And then part 5, the soul's infinite choices, the death process and the release of the body, purification and release, the call of the return, families of spirit. And part 6 is the spiral of ascent, the school of love, the school of service, spiral of ascent, rising into the 12th chakra, the apprenticeship with the mentor and angelic assignments in the service of the divine path. Part 7 is mysteries lived here and now, awakening while alive, dreams, visions, and near-death messages, the sacred art of dying, religion and spirituality, Yogananda's bridge, the eternal now, and then the references, the golden triad diagram.
Oh, that golden triad is a powerful diagram.
I'll see if I can get that.
And that shows the connection, how we're connected to the rest of the universe.
Wow, how neat.
Yeah, it's really something. Thank you for doing that. I think that's helping people understand what this is all about.
Yeah, it's a really cool book. Like I said, and you can read like a chunk at a time and just really kind of enjoy it.
I call it a bedside book because if you have it by your bedside, you can open up and say, what am I supposed to learn now? Just like you do cards. And it'll open up to exactly what you need to read.
Ooh, neat.
Or you might be concerned over, a problem or something that you need solved or answered or a fear. And if you open it up, there will be. So it is a good, and it's very, very short chapters with a meditation.
So you can do it every day and have the meditation, almost like a devotion book.
Or
Almost.
anytime you've
yeah.
got a lot of stress.
Yeah. So it's a very helpful book. It's a lovely book. Maybe I'll send you that one, Teresa. So yeah, it's a wonderful book, and we've had so much fun. So you've got your new book on the rise. So that one is called, sorry, I can't.
Caught at the Edge.
Caught at the Edge. It's a love story through the ages. Right? Sort of.
No, that's the Caught at the Edge is the story.
Oh no, the Caught at the Edge. No, the one that you're writing now.
Oh, Just Beyond My Reach.
Just Beyond My
Just
Reach.
beyond my reach.
That's a love
That's
story.
it. Yeah.
It's about soulmates.
So the Caught at the Edge is not about like
It's-
the world doesn't come to the end, does it? And then there's a whole bunch of people.
The old world comes to the end, but things still go on.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
It ends with the birth of a child, and that was to show everybody that life goes on.
Okay.
It's really quite a book.
That one I will probably put that in my cart. So in Canada, in my Amazon cart. So, and you can find her books, and she's an on Amazon author. You can look her up at Elizabeth Joyce, and you can look up all her books because there's quite a few on Amazon I've seen. So, and grab her up there. And so, do you think you'll be doing a course about the new chakras?
I'd like to. There's been so much going on here, but I'd like to start thinking about doing that this summer. Or if anybody wants to get a group together, I can come to you.
What you should do is have a course, record it, and then you can put it up on wherever,
Yeah,
and people
I
can
know.
get it and redo it again and again. You're going to have
It
to find.
takes time.
I know. Well, you got the person down the road. She probably can help you.
That's
Oh,
it.
heck,
But
yeah. That's it.
of course, I've been healing for 3 years,
Yeah.
and I'm just coming out of it.
Wow.
I
neat.
couldn't even walk to the mailbox
Oh,
when I got back, and that was at the end of 23. And then there's been so much emotional going on.
Yeah.
People are leaving,
They are. People are leaving a lot. There's a lot of people leaving
Yeah.
all the time.
and it's going to continue. They're the ones that chose not to live through the last days.
yeah.
They don't want to have that experience. I will say one more thing. You can cut this if you want to, but we'll talk about AI and how everybody's so afraid of it. If you ever allow any chip in your body, that's a sign of the beast. And
Right.
it will automatically prevent you from going to higher levels
Right.
and from meditation or even thinking about something beyond yourself.
Wow.
It's so dangerous.
I won't
So-
cut it because
You
I
have
don't
to-
want any chips in my body. Thanks.
You have to
That's her Lay's potato chips.
set
Yeah.
a condition. It's simple. You set a condition that you belong to the universe, you're a part of the universe, and you ask for protection.
Yep.
And you'll be all right. Down the road, I think 20 or 30 more years, they're going to demand that the human becomes inhuman. And that's why people are fighting against it. So we just have to keep praying.
And hoping the
Miracle.
Arcturians come down and say, okay, never, not for this.
Not this time.
Not this time. Nope. This is why we came to watch over you. Have you had
What?
experience with extraterrestrials? Like,
Yes,
have,
for
have you
years. For years.
do you see them, or do you
I see
communicate
them.
through your head? You see them.
Well, I
Okay.
communicate through my head all the time with whatever spirit is. And who's to say what that is? It's like being on the telephone. You can't tell who's on the other end. You just
Absolutely.
have the higher vibration rays. But one time I was getting ready for work in the morning and I had 3 conehead kids playing on my bed. I thought that was funny. But I've had people appear and then disappear.
Oh.
I had a tire blowout on the Garden State Parkway and I ended up in the grass middle and this man came along in a pure white truck and changed my tire.
Oh,
And
yeah.
by the time I turned around to thank him, he had
He's gone.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yes.
But the amazing one was when I was 13 and the whole family were going cross country and we were in Yellowstone National Park and we were coming out of it and we were going to stay overnight at Woods Hole. But it was a long ride and my father had refused to get gas in the car because there wasn't any Esso stations. But there aren't any Esso stations on the other side of the Mason-Dixon line. So my mother got really annoyed with him. So she was worried that we were going to run out of gas before we got to the place. And we were in woods, dark, dark woods. So I started to pray, and all of a sudden, you talk about bright lights. On the left-hand side of the road, this bright light came, and there was the gas station. Everything was white. The pumps were white. The sign was white. The people were dressed in white. And my father filled up his car, and it said ESO on it. ESSO, that was the gas. So we went to the hotel, and my father was registering, and he told the guy, "Boy, I'm glad there was a gas station on this side of Yellowstone, or we wouldn't have made it." And the man looked at him and said, "There's no gas
No.
station here."
Oh my
That
God.
is amazing.
Oh my God.
That's the truth. That
Cool.
happened.
Wow.
It's
I love
really something.
What
you
did
Don't
your
are
you love
parents
it?
think of that?
Pardon?
What did your parents think of that? Like when they
They
heard that?
blame me. They knew it came from me. They knew it.
I
Oh,
love
they
that.
already knew that you were
When my
special,
mother
special.
Yeah, when my mother was talking to my father, she turned around at the back seat and she said, "I guess we'll be all right because Beth is praying."
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's an amazing story. Thank you
I
so
just,
much.
I just wish we could hold the energy. In your healing, have you ever seen somebody get well and then let go of it and go back to the? I had a boy come that had muscular dystrophy, and I put him on the body table, and his legs straightened out, and he had a smile on his face, and he
Wow.
was so happy, and his mother was amazed, but he couldn't hold it. The minute it was over, he went back to the other.
Oh,
And I wondered about that for years. Why can't we hold it?
Well, maybe because that wasn't a part of our contract. Maybe, maybe that was. You
Well,
don't know
well, you,
why don't we let go of the trauma of it, and why don't we? Yeah, why is
you hear the story of Lazarus and you hear of all the healings in the Bible and you wonder what they were like a year after.
well? Remember the story in the Bible where the 10 leopards went away and one came back and the others didn't, and you wonder, like, did those others stay healed, or did they return to back to the way they were?
You just wonder. I've always wondered that.
I guess it's
Oh, I got one thing that's so important to tell you.
okay.
And I was just thinking about what I used to believe in. And I used to get very mad when the church would teach you that only 144,000 people were going to remain. I would stamp my foot and say, "God doesn't do that. God loves everybody." Well, guess what? Do you want to know the secret? You know each chakra has what do you call them? Feathers in them?
Yeah, they just spiral. Yeah,
Yes.
fans or
Well, they've been counted. Do you know how many there are in the 12 chakras?
140.
144,000.
Ooh.
You will be known by the mark on your forehead.
Right.
You will be recognized. That's for the rapture. You'll be recognized. This has to get out. This information has to get out. And that's part of why I wrote Mysteries Revealed, because I have a chapter on it in that book.
I can hardly wait to get to it. So now you've got me all sparked up.
Oh, right.
Yeah, sparked up. Thank you so much for being here today, Elizabeth. And thank you for persevering and getting there. So, yeah, we all figured it out. And I'm so excited that you are here. And we'll have to have you on again, maybe when you're done your new book.
Yeah, for the new book. That'd be fun.
Oh, yeah. It'll probably be around July.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect. Thank you.
And unless you get sidetracked by your 12 chakra course, which I really, really hope you get to do.
Anyway, I do want to say that I no longer have a website, but I do have a 24-hour answering service. And if you leave your name and phone number, someone will get back to you.
Okay. You still do live readings? Do you still do readings?
Yes,
or?
I do. It's
Okay.
201-934-8986.
Okay.
Again, that's 201-934-8986.
Okay. We'll write that down and then I'll make sure I put it on the comments, because this will be playing on Sunday. So you guys, you can look up and you can rewatch it. And it'll also be going on our podcast as well on Sunday. And so you can listen to it again and again, and it'll be on our YouTube channel.
That's a powerful day.
That is.
Venus moves into Pisces that day. That's a powerful day. It's a love day, a real love day.
Oh, nice.
So that's good.
Day.
8th of March is a love day. You know that all off the top of your head. I'm an Aries with Leo rising and Leo in my new. Is that right? I'm sorry, I can't remember. I'm not.
And what are you?
Teresa, what are you?
What are we talking about? Capricorn? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking about something else while you guys were talking about that.
When's your birthday?
My birthday is January 3rd, 1965. So I'm a double Capricorn. And the other aspect, I keep mixing up the other one, but I know I got the double Capricorn for sure.
Well, I have Pisces sun, Pisces moon, but a Sagittarius rising. But my Pluto is in Leo. So that means that Rhonda and I have had a lifetime before now.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Well, I figure I've met a lot of our guests before. I think that's we don't cross our paths. Harry Carey, we're
always fun to know it though. You know it by the chart. That's your passport.
Oh, so you do charts as well?
Yes.
Oh, that's really cool.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me here.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
We stay on afterwards because we'll talk, but I'm going to end the recording. And guys,
well, you're going to read the card. You got to read.
Oh, I have to do my card. I'm sorry. I have to do the card. I pulled this card for us, which is it's called Forgiveness and Understanding. It's by Kyle Gray, the Angel Guide Oracle book. And to me, this is the forgiveness. Now it's yellow. Now you've made me rethink all this, because yellow is the heart chakra. So this is forgiving I still think it's more forgiveness for ourselves and everything that we feel that we've gone off the path from. If we have to give that self-forgiveness.
Would you like me to give you an example?
Sure, absolutely.
I had a real test about forgiveness in 2019 when I was moving up here. I was redoing the house because it wasn't livable. And this man stole $25,000 from me on purpose.
No.
And he wrote the police a letter and he told them that he took the money and why he needed it and what it went to and everything. And I tried to get a lawyer. I couldn't get a lawyer. I went over to Hillsborough to talk to the DA, and he wouldn't take the case. So I came home, and I said, there's a reason. And I meditated, and I went back into a past life in the 12th century. And I saw what had happened between the two of us, and I forgave it.
Oh, nice.
I never gave it another thought. And I felt this whole thing come off my body. And that's what that card reminded me of. That is true forgiveness.
Just let and the karma lifting from that.
Well, there's two things that happen when you do that. First of all, you don't have to get a disease like cancer, which is eating yourself alive. And second of all, the person will get his own karma. Vengeance is mine, said the Lord. So I just gave it up.
Yeah.
But it was a beautiful experience. Absolutely beautiful. The freedom that it gives you is incredible.
Yes. Yeah. Because every time once you forgive, you don't have that anchor dragging you back.
Yeah.
Right. And
But that's an example of how it works. Why people do things out of fear and hate.
They don't know any better, for sure.
Because what Louise Hay would always say is hate is self-inflicting. You hate yourself, always. And it's true.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
never angry at what you think you're angry at.
Yeah.
That's so true. That's so true. Yeah. Thank you again, Elizabeth, and we will catch you on the other side. So,
And I will share who's on next week.
Yes.
We're having Katie Steinley, who does these musical things and astrology. She'll be teaching.
biofeedback. Yeah.
Yeah, the biofeedback. This is amazing. And why we're bringing together with Katie, who's so important on this, is because Jessica Dugas has been for the longest time reading this poem by Dorothy Auger called I Shall Stand for Love, or I think it's just called For Love. But it's the 10-year anniversary of that poem. And people have been reading it continuously since then because Dorothy did it. And it's all about standing for peace and stuff. And so
forgiveness.
Yeah. And so we're going to be reading that poem, and then all of us that read it every morning. We meet every morning really early, and we read this poem, and we send our intentions out. And so it's going to be an exciting episode, and I hope everybody comes. Anybody who wants peace in the world, I hope they come and watch this episode.
So peace, love, and we'll talk to you again.
And
Thanks.
harmony.
And harmony. Absolutely.
Peace, love, and harmony.
Thank you.
This is a beautiful